Advanced interview questions. 31. How to reset the Splunk admin password. Resetting the Splunk admin password depends on the version of Splunk. If we are using Splunk 7.1 and above, then we have to follow the below steps. First, we have to stop our Splunk Enterprise. Now, we need to find the password file and rename it to password.bk. Then, we have to create a file named userc.conf in the below directory. 1. $splunkinfo /etc/system/local/. In the file, we will have to use the following command. Here, in place of new _password, we will add our own new password. User_info. Password equals new password. After that, we can just restart the Splunk Enterprise and use the new password to log in. Now, if we are using versions prior to 7.1, we will follow the below steps. First, stop the Splunk Enterprise. Find the password file and rename it to past.bk. Start Splunk Enterprise and log in using the default credentials of admin/changeme. Here, when asked to enter a new password for our admin account, we will follow the instructions. Note: in case we have created other users earlier and know their login details, copy and paste their credentials from the password.bk file into the password file and restart Splunk. 32. How to disable the Splunk launch message. Set value offensive equals less in Splunk for launch.onf. Learn more from Intellipat's insightful Splunk tutorial. 33. How to clear the Splunk search history. We can clear the Splunk search history by deleting the following file from the Splunk server. $splunkinfo /var/log/splunk/searches.log. 34. What is ptool? How will you troubleshoot Splunk configuration files? Splunk ptool is a command line tool that helps us troubleshoot configuration file issues or just see what values are being used by our Splunk Enterprise installation in the existing environment. 35. What is the difference between the Splunk app and Splunk add-ons? In fact, both contain pre-configured configuration, reports, etc., but the Splunk add-on does not have a visual app. On the other hand, a Splunk app has a pre-configured visual app. 36. What is the .onf files precedence in Splunk? File precedence is as follows. System local directory, highest priority. App local directories. App default directories. System default directory, lowest priority. 37. What is a fishbucket? What is a fishbucket index? Fishbucket is a directory or index at the default location. /opt/splunk/var/lib/splunk. It contains seek pointers and CRCs for the files we are indexing, so Splunk can tell us if it has read them already. We can access it through the GUI by searching for index equals _fishbucket. 38. How do I exclude some events from being indexed by Splunk? This can be done by defining a regex to match the necessary events and sending everything else to null queue. Here is a basic example that will drop everything except events that contain the string login. In props.onf, code esource :var/log/foo. Hashtag transforms must be applied in this order. Hashtag to make sure events are dropped on the hashtag floor prior to making their way to the hashtag index processor. Transform set equals set null, set parsing, /code, in transforms.onf. Set null, regex equals
des-y égale que format égale nul que.
Set parsing, regex equals login, destiny equals q, format equals index q. 39. How can I understand when Splunk has finished indexing a log file? We can figure this out by watching data from Splunk's metrics log in real time. Index equals _internal, source equals *metrics.log, group equals per series equals eval mb equals kb /1024 chart sum mb. By watching everything split by source type. Index equals _internal, source equals *metrics.log, group equals per group it, eval mb equals kb /1024 chart sum mb, average eps over series. If we are having trouble with data input and we want a way to troubleshoot it, particularly if our whitelist/blacklist rules are not working the way we expected, we will go to the following URL: https // your Splunk host, 8089/services/admin/input status. For more on these, visit our Splunk community. 40. How to set the default search time in Splunk 6. To do this in Splunk Enterprise 6.0, we have to use uiprefs.conf. If we set the value in the following, all our users would see it as the default setting. $Splunk /etc/system/local. For example, if our $Splunk /etc/system/local/uiprefs.conf file includes search dispatch.earliest equals at d, dispatch.latest equals now, the default time range that all users will see in the search app will be today. The configuration file reference for uiprefs.conf is here. http://docs/documentation/splunk.com/documentation/splunk/latest/admin/ui-prefs. 41. What is a dispatch directory? $var/run/splunk/dispatch contains a directory for each search that is running or has completed. For example, a directory named 1,434,308,943.358 will contain a CSV file of its search results, a search.log with details about the search execution, and other stuff. Using the defaults, which we can override in limits.conf, these directories will be deleted 10 minutes after the search completes, unless the user saves the search results, in which case the results will be deleted after 7 days. 42. What is the difference between search head pooling and search head clustering? Both are features provided by Splunk for the high availability of Splunk search head in case any search head goes down. However, the search head cluster feature has only recently been introduced, while the search head pooling feature will be removed in the next few versions. The search head cluster is managed by a captain, and the captain controls its slaves. The search head cluster is more reliable and efficient than the search head pooling. 43. If I want to add folder access logs from a Windows machine to Splunk, how do I do it? Below are the steps to add folder access logs to Splunk. Enable object access audit through group policy on the Windows machine on which the folder is located. Enable auditing on a specific folder for which we want to monitor logs. Install the Splunk Universal Forwarder on the Windows machine. Configure the Universal Forwarder to send security logs to the Splunk indexer. 44. How would you handle/troubleshoot a Splunk license violation warning? A license violation warning implies that Splunk has indexed more data than our purchased license quota. We have to identify which index/source type has received more data recently than the usual daily data volume. We can check the Splunk license master pool-wise available quota and identify the pool in which the violation has occurred. Once we identify the pool that is receiving more data, we have to identify the top source type that is receiving more data than usual. Once the source type is also identified, we find the source machine that is sending the huge number of logs and, in turn, the root cause for the same, and troubleshoot it accordingly. Find out how Splunk's machine learning can transform your business operations and help you make better, data-driven decisions. 45. What is MapReduce algorithm? MapReduce algorithm is the secret behind Splunk's faster data searching. It's an algorithm typically used for batch-based large-scale parallelization. It's inspired by functional programming SMAP and reduce functions. 46. How does Splunk avoid the duplicate indexing of logs? At the indexer, Splunk keeps track of the indexed events in a directory called Fishbucket with the following default location: /opt/splunk/var/lib/splunk.